While researching Scientology for this film, I came across some facts that by themselves don't seem very significant. But put side by side with other pieces of information, I started to see connections that I had never made before. Supposedly, for a short period of time, Oliver Stone was a member of Scientology when he was working on his film JFK that was based upon the 1989 book written by Jim Marrs. In 1992, I read this book and a short time later saw the film. This was the main catalyst that first got me interested in conspiracy research. But as the years went by, I began to conduct my own research, and I more and more began to feel that the book and the movie at best aren't giving us anything close to the whole story, and at worst, are directly acting as part of the ongoing disinfo campaign surrounding the true events of November 22, 1963. If Stone was indeed a member of Scientology when he made JFK, there is absolutely no way he would have been allowed by the church to direct a film based on a book that was not on the Scientology-approved reading list. While I was unable to verify if Crossfire is on their list of approved books, I did find out from a message board run by former Scientologists that another of Jim Marrs' books, Rule by Secrecy, is, in fact, on their approved reading list. This was a shock to me. Understand, ladies and gentlemen, that no materials other than those which are written by a member of the church are allowed on their approved reading list. So the question that needs to be answered is Jim Marrs a Scientologist? A few years ago, one of my fans told a story to me about doing a house cleaning job in Telluride, Colorado at the residence of none other than Scientology's golden boy, Tom Cruise. He noted that throughout the house he saw nothing but Scientology books everywhere, including children's books from the church. But the big thing that stuck out to him was a copy of none other than Jim Marrs' Rule by Secrecy on the bedstand right where Tom Cruise slept. At the time, I didn't really know what to do with this information and really didn't think much of it, until finding out that it is indeed on the Scientology-approved reading list. Some might argue that this does not prove beyond a shadow of a doubt Marrs is a Scientologist, but consider the following information as well. The CCHR, the Citizens Committee on Human Rights, is a Scientology-based and funded group which specifically deals with issues related to their stance on the use of psychiatric drugs and vaccines. The fact that this group is a fully created entity by the Church of Scientology is not debated. And the CCHR is even prominently displayed and listed on Scientology's own website. In 2011, Jim Marrs was awarded the Human Rights Award by CCHR, and in 2009 also attended one of these award ceremonies which featured actors such as Ethan Suplee, Jenna Elfman, Danny Masterson, and others. The attendees and award winners list reads like a who's who list of Scientologist actors, with Jim Marrs just thrown in there randomly. Are we to believe he is the only lone non-Scientologist that has ever been allowed to enter their circle without being a member? I also discovered that he was given an award by Scientology as far back as 1993. As it turns out, Freedom Magazine also awarded Marrs with a Human Rights Award just 4 years after writing Crossfire and only 2 years after the release of Oliver Stone's JFK. Remember, folks, Scientology considers anyone who is not one of them to be an SP or suppressive person, and it doesn't appear that they view Marrs this way. In the film JFK, Donald Sutherland portrays the mysterious Mr. X in a key scene where he reveals bombshell information to Jim Garrison. Mr. X is based upon L. Fletcher Prouty, a military insider who published books on the JFK conspiracy, including a book-length manuscript, The Role of Intelligence in the Cold War. It appeared as a series in Freedom Magazine, a magazine which is published by none other than the Church of Scientology. Like Jim Marrs, Prouty was not officially a Scientologist, but supported them and had this to say about them, quote, "I have traveled far and wide throughout my professional life and see the peoples of Earth as incredibly diverse in character as well as needs. Oftentimes our efforts to understand and help them have been too narrow. In the many years I have worked within the Church of Scientology, the one thing that impressed me the most and will characterize the Church far into future centuries is its ability to deal with humankind as a whole. At the heart of Scientology's activities is the betterment of all people, no matter what creed, what race, what socioeconomic status, to develop themselves spiritually and mentally, so that each individual can improve his own life. Scientology's far-reaching goals are designed to tend to each individual uniquely with compassion, concern, and commitment. These rare attributes are essential in these times of trouble and uncertainty, and most assuredly provide the church with a platform for growth and strength in the years to come. Crowdy was hired by Scientology in the early 1980s as a consultant and made statements pertaining to L. Ron Hubbard's military records, which according to him had been sheep-dipped due to Hubbard's involvement in classified activities for the OSS. His work was also published by the Liberty Lobby, a CMP-related group that I discussed in my Secret Right film series. This is something that happens to me a lot while working on a film, and it seemed it was happening again. Here I am working on a film on who controls Hollywood, researching Scientology, and by chance I start finding connections back to my previous research into the Secret Right and who controls the so-called Truth Movement. I had found some connections to Scientology while working on my Secret Right films, but didn't really know how it was relevant at the time. But when I saw this page on the CCHR website, I knew I had found more than I had bargained for in relation to Scientology and so-called truth tellers. Listed on CCHR's own website is a list of noted people who support their cause, and they include none other than Ron Paul, Michael Moore, George Noory, Mike Adams, David Kuplian of WorldNet Daily, and none other than Alex Jones. Why would Jim Marrs or any other so-called truthers and researchers on this list connect themselves with any group so closely involved with the CIA, mind control, and black magic as we discussed earlier in this film? Combine all of this with the fact that Dr. Thomas Azaz, who founded CCHR, was an Eastern European Jew, the same as all the founders of Hollywood, and we have some serious red flags too huge to ignore. I always felt there was a missing puzzle in my Secret Right research, and it appears that missing piece is Scientology. Now, let's look at more clues in relation to these facts.